song about love in all its many forms and how we can recognize it. When your soul feels the passion, rises up in the magic, and when your joy overflows and you're filled with compassion, that's love. That's love. What you see and what you learn, that's not the ultimate concern. It's what you choose to think and be, or feel the truth that sets you free. That's love. Yeah, yeah. Hey, that's love. Allow it to flow. Go ahead and get out the way. Let your night turn into day. Allow love to take control. It's about what moves your soul, yeah. What moves your soul. Oh, right. That's love, yeah. That's love. When you offer forgiveness and let go of resistance, when you seek to understand and you lend a helping hand, hey, whoa, that's love. Oh, right. Allow it to flow. Go ahead and get out the way. Let your night turn into day. Allow love to take control. It's about what moves your soul, yeah. Hey, what moves your soul. Oh, right. That's love, yeah. That's love. Oh, it's the reason for living, yeah. It's why you deserve it all. Oh, it's receiving and it's giving. And listen now, can you hear the call that's in love? All right, that's love. Yeah, that's love. Oh, yeah. Allow it to flow. I am love. Here I am.
Hello and welcome to the Unity Center of New York City's live stream service. I'm Justin Epstein, author of the top-selling book Super You and minister of the Unity Center of New York City. Welcome. We're so glad you're with us this morning for this service. And we're happy to have with us again John Stringer and also Terry Burns and Ron Kristy. Thank you for being with us today. And let's get started with an opening sing-along. It's I Give Thanks with Terry and Ron. We'll call them Burns and Kristy. And so if you want to join us, just stand up where you are if you like, or remain seated, and let's get started with I Give Thanks.
I give thanks for the beauty of this day. I give thanks for the beauty of this day. Got the sun upon my face, filled with gratitude and grace. I give thanks for the beauty of this day. I give thanks for the blessings of this day. I give thanks for the blessings of this day. For the music of the trees while they're swaying in the breeze. I give thanks for the blessings of this day. I give thanks for the glory of this day. I give thanks for the glory of this day. For the Spirit from above, filling up our hearts with love. I give thanks for the glory of this day. I give thanks for the bounty of this day. I give thanks for the bounty of this day. I am given what I need as I humbly receive. I give thanks for the bounty of this day. I give thanks for the beauty of this day. I give thanks for the beauty of this day. Got a smile upon my face, filled with gratitude and grace. I give thanks for the beauty of this day.
Thank you, Burns and Kristy, for leading us in that song today. Just a few community highlights for you. You can watch the live stream service on all three platforms: the Unity Center of New York City's Facebook page, the YouTube page, as well as the website. If you should have any trouble viewing any of these platforms, remember you can switch to one of the others. We don't expect to have any challenges, but you never know. So just feel free to switch to either of the other ones. Also, if you would like us on Facebook, follow us on the Facebook page. That will help us reach more people. You can follow the Justin Epstein page as well. That would be appreciated. On our Facebook pages, you can find the latest Sunday service, as well as schedule on Fridays a reminder for the upcoming Sunday service. You will also receive reminders during the week about our 3 live weekly videos and meditations that I do during the week. On the Facebook page, you can click Learn More, and that will take you to the Unity Center website. There, if you would like to receive a weekly newsletter with information about what's going on during the week or upcoming activities, then put in your email there and you will begin receiving a weekly newsletter, including a weekly inspirational video. As mentioned, you can watch the live stream on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com, put in Justin Epstein, I'm not the cage fighter, and you will begin to find our page, the Justin Epstein page. And there, by subscribing, hit the subscribe button, you will then receive access to a library of inspirational videos. If you miss a live stream or any of our weekly videos, you can still find them on Facebook and YouTube pages for now. We hope you'll enjoy them. By the way, if you ever, when you're watching a service or a message and you're like, wow, I want to share that with a friend or a family member, remember, you can copy the link and share it through an email. And that way you can share this inspirational message and service with friends, family, and others. We are happy to announce today our new website. So if you go to unitycenternyc.com, you can see our new website and our new logo. So please check it out, and we hope you will enjoy it. Now I'd like to take time for our prosperity celebration. We celebrate the good that's in our life. We celebrate, we acknowledge that God, infinite consciousness, divine mind, the source, is our source of all good. And this is a time where we have an opportunity for you to support this ministry. If you believe in our inspirational message and its power to transform individual lives and really the planet, we look around, we can see there are a lot of challenges in the world, and we believe that the greatest blessing is for every person to discover that power that abides within them. And that's one of the things that makes these teachings so unique, is we believe that power is within and expressing as every person on the planet. And through understanding and of that truth and how to connect with it, people get in touch with inner peace, inner harmony, inner love, and they bring it forth into their life. It's made a difference in my life. It's made a difference in really millions of people's lives. And we hope you'll continue to support what we're doing so that we can get this message out to more and more people. So let us take a moment now and ask the presence within us, what is the gift we'd like to give today? And let us give that gift prayerfully, lovingly, acknowledging that as we give, we open out a way through which even more abundance flows into our individual lives as well as through the Unity Center ministry. We bless these gifts knowing that divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Would you prayerfully join me in blessing your gift with that prayer together? Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Thank you. And so it is. Amen. And now we're going to prepare for our meditation time. By the way, you can give, just follow in the comments section or the link posted on how to donate. And you can also open another window so that you can continue to see the service while you donate. And so that's one option for you. So now we're going to prepare for a guided meditation. Meditation is very popular these days. Hallelujah. Right? Isn't it wonderful? People in businesses and sports and other arenas are meditating. And essentially, meditation has been practiced probably from the beginning of time. I'm sure there's a caveman back there who probably closed his eyes and somehow determined and connected with a power that was within him. And we do the same. In fact, we believe when Jesus, the way shower and teacher, said, when you pray, go into your inner chamber and shut the door and pray to your heavenly Father in secret. He meant go into your inner being and get still and quiet, aka meditate, experience the silence. So we prepare for that by singing a sort of a repetitive song that can focus our mind and get us centered. So would you join me now and John Stringer as he leads us in this message through song.
Now for this song, we'll start off with call and response, and then we'll sing one part of it together. Goes like this. I am able, your turn. I am able, my turn. I am free to have it all. Now you. I am free to have it all. I am able. I am able. I am answering the call. I am answering the call. I am able. I am able to share the love inside of me. Share the love inside of me. I am able. I am able. I am able. I am able. There we go. I have come this far by the grace of God, and I will not stop until my work here is done. I have come this far by the grace of God, and I will not stop until my work here is done. I am able, your turn. I am able. I am free to have it all. I am free to have it all. I am able. I am able. I am answering the call. I am answering the call. I am able. I am able to share the love inside of me. Share the love inside of me. I am able. I am able. I am able. I am able. One more time. I have come this far by the grace of God, and I will not stop until my work here is done. I have come this far by the grace of God, and I will not stop until my work here is done. I am able. I am able. I am free to have it all. I am free to have it all. I am able. I am able. I am answering the call. I am answering the call. I am able. I am able to share the love inside of me. To share the love inside of me. And I am able. I am able. I am able. I am able. Great job.
Thank you, John. I invite you now to join me in getting still and quiet, sitting upright wherever you are, whether you're in a chair, on the couch, on the bus, in the subway, wherever you are listening or watching. And just notice your body, how your body feels. As we relax the body, then the mind becomes calmer, and we become more receptive to our inner self. So let us consciously let go of tensions held in the body. Become aware of your feet, your calves, your thighs, and send the message, relax. Allow your abdomen and stomach to relax. Become aware of your hands and fingers and forearms and shoulders. And send the message, relax, let go. Relaxing the muscles in your back, the upper, the middle, the lower. Relaxing the muscles in your chest, sending the thought, relax and let go. Become aware of your neck. Relax your neck, the front, the back, the sides. And notice as you say, relax and let go, and feel your muscles doing just that. Become aware of the muscles in your face, your jaw, your cheeks, your eyes, your forehead, your nose. Relax and let go. Your scalp. Relax. And now scan your body and see if there's any place that needs to let go. Relax and let go. And now, let us turn our energy inward by becoming aware of the flow of your breathing. Feel the breath moving in and out of your nasal passages. And when your mind wanders, bring the mind back to the breathing. And now, add to the inflow of your breath the words, I am. And as you exhale the word, consciousness. I am on the inhalation, consciousness on the exhalation. Don't worry if you don't know what the word consciousness means. Someone might be asking, well, what does that mean? It's not that important. Just as your breath flows in, mentally think, I am. And as your breath flows out, consciousness. Or if you prefer a different word, use that. So let us focus now on the breathing and the affirmation. Again, when the mind wanders, bring it back to the breathing and the affirmation. And now take a nice, long, deep breath. Just rest in the quiet, in the stillness. And see if you feel anything or sense anything or see anything. Be present to that which is within you. And from this awareness of the presence expressing in and as you, from this awareness of your connection with Source, with being, let us include in this prayer time our friends and family members. See them healthy and strong and comforted and peaceful, confident. See them as they are in consciousness, and see them as they can be in expression. And we include in this time of prayer all those names that have been submitted to the Unity Center of New York City for prayer. We include each one. And we include every person on the planet. Every person. For in the infinite consciousness, we're all one. As Miguel Ruiz has written, there is only one living being. And each of us are different expressions of that. And we give thanks for this time together. We're grateful. Grateful for this spiritual community of like-minded souls to connect in this way with one another, to remember our unity, our oneness with Source and with each other, and to be an uplifting presence to others in our world and to our earth, to the planet, to the animals, to all of life. And we bring our awareness now back to our body, wiggling toes, wiggling fingers, letting our eyes adjust to the lighting. And so it is.
So many angels out there living right down the block. In my despair, my darkest hour, they show up. Sometimes they bring a homemade dinner just sit and talk, and without knowing, they show me the face of God. So many angels out there, so many angels out there, so many angels out there. I was bored in the plane when I got the call. I could hear my brother's voice shaking, saying, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone. Through my tears I found my seat, then a stranger next to me. She took my hand and she said, honey, hold on, hold on, hold on. So many angels out there, so many angels out there, so many angels out there. There was a girl who helped my mother in the old folks' home. She'd make her laugh, she'd brush her hair and put her makeup on. She didn't know she was my hero with her gentle ways. She had no fame, she had no money, but she was filled with grace. So many angels out there, 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 so many
Thank you, Burns and Kristy, for that wonderful song. Who are you? Who am I? That's a big question that human beings are asking themselves, if not consciously, then subconsciously. And many are giving themselves answers which are okay, but I don't believe they're the real truth. They're giving themselves answers like, I'm rich or I'm poor. I'm a man, I'm a woman. I'm my color. I'm a doctor. I'm a clerk. I'm a teacher. I'm attractive, pretty, handsome, unattractive. thin, fat, medium. You see how all of those things point to the outer? They're identifications with externals. Now, that's not wrong in itself, and you can think of other ways. In fact, think of one. Write down below in the comments of some other ways we identify with what we are. Now, all that is part of our makeup, our personality, our conditioning, what we do, and it's all to be acknowledged, to be celebrated. But is it really who we are? Here's the thing. What happens if you lose your money? Who are you then? What happens to the mother or the father when the children go away? And perhaps that person has been in the home taking care of the kids. Now who are they? What happens to the vice president when he or she retires and is no longer the vice president? Who is that person now? What happens when the person who has an identity of being an attractive person grows older and changes take place and they're no longer look the way they used to look? What happens then? We're not these things. They're part of our personality, but they're not who we really are. Who are we really? You are consciousness. You are this sense of aliveness. You and I are expressions of infinite consciousness that underlies all form. Whatever you want to call that presence, it's expressing as you. Just like the ocean's expressing as the wave. You are an expression of that. Jesus the Christ said, "Is it not written, ye are gods," with a little g. He was referring to the Old Testament. Well, to the Hebrew teachings that he grew up with. Little gods with a little g. You are an expression of consciousness. See? So when we're not identifying ourselves with these different labels, when we're not thinking, I'm this, I'm that, but just aware, just being, that's who we really are. No labels, no judgments, just being. And in those moments, without labels, without thinking, there is an experience of pure consciousness, pure unconditioned being. Wouldn't you like to know that about yourself as much as possible? So that your well-being is not dependent on what happens in the economy, what happens with your body, which does change, what happens with your roles as they change. Of course you would. Of course you would want that stability. Part of your consciousness, an aspect of your consciousness, is your awareness. You are aware. Hopefully, right now, you are awake and your attention is present. Your awareness is focused, which becomes attention. And here's the power of that. What you focus your awareness on, you learn more about. Not only do you learn more about, but what you focus your attention on actually will help it change for the better. That's why it's so powerful. And that's what is a unique gift for you as a human being. Animals don't have that. They are conditioned by their species they're in. They just act automatically. They do the same things, and as far as I know, there's not a lot that they do differently because they don't have conscious choice. They can't step back, pause, evaluate what's going on in their lives or in the world, strategize, and make different choices. Animals can't do that, but you can, and I can. Doesn't mean we do. There's a lot of people who don't do that. They're busy giving away their power to the environment, to the pandemic, to what the government is doing or not doing, to what the job market's doing or not being. Those are all challenges, definitely. We have challenges. We're not saying ignore them. But what we're saying is we have consciousness and we can step back and make choices. And today I want to talk more about the power of your awareness. When you shine the light of your awareness on something, how it can shift. By shining your awareness on something, you can change behaviors in an almost effortless manner. See, what often happens is we try very hard to change something. And that's how we do it in the West. If you're not successful, try harder. Tell me, have you ever tried harder to change something and it didn't get better? Yes. In fact, have you ever tried harder to do something and it got worse? Yes. I want to offer a better way today. Through shining the light of your awareness on something, seemingly almost effortless change can happen. And I want to share with you how it can change behaviors, how it can impact health, and how you can apply it to shift whatever's going on inside of you. Doesn't that sound good? Well, let's get into that. And it's because of the power of your awareness, of your consciousness, that can do that for you. Tim Galway, the author of the Inner Game series of books, he's been an incredible influence on a lot of people and on myself included. I first picked up one of his books at the age of 12. It was a very spiritual book, probably my first spiritual book ever. It's called The Inner Game of Golf, and I've done a bunch of videos on it in the last several weeks that you can check out and on YouTube or our Facebook page. And Tim points out that awareness is curative. Curative. And let me give you some examples on different areas of life. He met with an executive who didn't realize it, but everyone else knew it. He was overly aggressive with his people he was managing. And Tim knew that he couldn't directly approach him because he would probably resist that information. So instead, he asked him a question. He said, how do you know when your people are listening to you? And without thinking, he said, eye contact, their nonverbal communication, and whether they follow what I've asked them to do or not, whether they comply. So Tim said, all right, for the next week, here's your challenge. I'd like you to just be aware of those variables in your people you're managing. Eye contact, nonverbal, whether they follow through with what you ask them to do or not. So he went away, and after a week, he came back not only amazed, but excited. He said you wouldn't believe it. In the beginning of the week, there was little eye contact. People had their arms crossed, and they really weren't following through with what I was asking them to do. By the end of the week, there was more eye contact. They really seemed to be listening and taking in what I was telling them, and they were very productive, more so than I'd ever seen them be. And how do you account for that? And Tim was like, oh, I'm not sure, but I want to give you another challenge for the next week. I would like you to just, without judgment, and remember, awareness to be effective has to be without judgment. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no good, there's no bad, there's no correct way. It's just awareness of what is. When you have without those labels, then you can see things as they are. In yoga philosophy, this is called the path of wisdom or discrimination or jnana yoga. Some of you have heard that mentioned. So here's a way to practice. So in the next week, I want you to just be aware of your tone of voice with the people you're managing. And so he went, and that's what he did. And you can imagine the significant changes that occurred for him as he just noticed his tone of voice with his people during the next week without criticizing himself, without judging. Dramatic changes took place. That is the power of awareness. Non-judgmental awareness. Let me ask you, what part of your life have you been having a challenge with? Maybe it's parenting skills. Maybe it's Zoom. Maybe it's speaking on Zoom or participating on Zoom. Maybe it's in your work somewhere or a hobby. You like to dance, or your golf swing, or your selling skills, or your listening skills. My goodness, there's so many areas that we can apply this to. Any area we can apply it to. Pick out something about it, what's called a variable, that changes and contributes to effectiveness in that area. The manager focused on the nonverbal communication of his employees and his tone of voice. What might you focus on without judgment, without good or bad, without this is the right way or the wrong way? Let source, let consciousness within you, what he calls self-2, your potential, your higher power, let that learn through your awareness. Let that make changes through you. Remember, Jesus the Christ said, it is not I, but the Father who does the work. The yogi sages talk about karma yoga, which is God as the doer. How do you actually make that work in your everyday life and in activities like acting or singing or whatever? In the details. That's what I'm sharing with you right now. I don't know that you've ever heard this explained like this anywhere else. I haven't. How to translate consciousness into your activities. Let me explain how the power of your awareness can impact your health. A man named Joe met with his doctor, Dr. Horton, about stomach pain and nausea that he was having. Joey was scared. He was afraid that he might have cancer or that he might have an ulcer. Well, Dr. Horton checked him out, did the medical workup, no problems. Couldn't find any source of that. So he sent him to a enterologist. I think I just said that right. Tongue twister almost. And that person did a workup, couldn't find any cause of the illness. Now, Dr. Horton suspected it might be stress related, but he knew this young man was, he didn't want to discourage this young man who was trying to follow in his father's footsteps, who was considered a hard, tough business guy. And this young man was in a fast-paced business world, and he wanted to succeed in it. He was newly married, and his wife wanted to have a child, and they wanted to have a family. And so he didn't want to challenge the fact that he didn't want this person to think that he was weak or couldn't manage in this lifestyle. So he didn't go directly to the fact that it might be stress. Instead, he asked the young man to use the power of consciousness, specifically awareness. And he said to him, every time you feel pain in your abdomen, I want you to think about what your behaviors were before that. So one day, after doing that for a week, he went back to Dr. Horton. He said, it's 80% cured. The pain's 80% cured. And he told the story. Joey said that one day after a hard, long day of work, he got home, he was tired. He came in and he did what he's been doing, which is he turned on the news. He sat down on the floor with his legs crossed. He opened a book, and his wife gave him dinner, and he ate while flipping through a book, while watching the news, cross-legged, his body bent over almost at 90-degree angle while he was eating. When Joey became aware of that behavior, he got up off the floor, he sat at the table with his wife and ate, and they had, for the first time in months, a nice conversation and a pleasant conversation. 80% of his pain went away. Why? Because he was bent over, he was hunched over, he was interfering with digestion, he was watching all this stuff going on at the same time. His food wasn't able to digest. The other 20% happened when he became aware that just before meetings, lunch meetings with his boss and his other managers, he was very nervous. So what he decided to do is eat lunch well in advance of those meetings or after the meetings. His pain all went away. See, before that, his family was like, you need to go to the Mayo Clinic to find out what's going on. I'm not saying there's not a place for that, but through the power of his awareness, he figured out what was going on with him. Doctors didn't see any physical cause. He discovered his cause for himself. I did the same thing. About 7, 8 years ago, I had a physical problem. I called up a top doctor, talked to him. He wasn't quite sure what the cause was. I kept a journal of how I was feeling, when I was feeling it. And I was a major contributor, maybe the main contributor, actually, of figuring out what was causing my challenges. It was nothing serious. Power of awareness can help change a behavior. Power of awareness can help with physical stuff. You can help your doctor. They ask you, so what are you experiencing? I don't know about you, but many times I've been a doctor and I'm like, well, I think blah, blah, blah. Well, don't think. Observe. Write it down. Give them exactly what you observe in yourself, and then you're part of the healing. You know, we hear the idea, let go and let God, and many people struggle with that. How do I let go? How do I let God? This is one of the ways that you do that. You focus your non-judgmental awareness on whatever it is that you want to see change and shift. So here's a challenge for you this week. Would you like to decrease stress and increase enjoyment during your day? Of course you would. No, Justin, I want to increase my misery. I want to feel worse. Here's how you can decrease your stress and increase your enjoyment. Focus your non-judgmental awareness. Now you might say, well, I'm not non-judgmental. You're probably not. That's self one. Self two, your consciousness, non-judgmental, divine intelligence. Self one, the ego, critical. What we're saying is focus your awareness in a non-judgmental way on whether, ask yourself when you want to during the week, how much enjoyment am I experiencing right now? And give it a number, a numerical value of 0 to 10. How much enjoyment am I experiencing in this moment? Let's say you stop and you do that and you say, oh, I'd give it a 4 because I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling some stress. What you'll probably find is just by doing that, your stress is going to decrease and your enjoyment is going to increase. As you simply notice and shine the light of your awareness on what you're feeling, it's probably going to change. A 4 might become a 6 in enjoyment just by noticing. And by shining the light of your awareness on it throughout the week, you're going to find that you're going to start becoming more aware of what triggers stress for you and what gives you a greater sense of enjoyment. You're going to see things shift by shining the light of awareness of your consciousness, which is linked to an expression of God consciousness, divine intelligence, self too, if you want to use that terminology, that can work through you to make changes for your benefit. St. Paul said, "Awake, thou that sleepest, that Christ may shine on you." Wake up